Did you know for Dodgeball, according to many cast members, the hardest part of filming the dodgeball scenes was not flinching when they knew they were about to be hit by a ball? 2. Many studios, including DreamWorks Pictures and Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, passed on this movie. 20th Century Fox finally agreed when Ben Stiller reduced his salary to well under $1 million. As of March 2005, the movie has grossed over $124 million, when it only cost $23 million to make. 3. Ben Stiller broke 3 cameras in succession filming one scene, and even hit his wife Christine Taylor in the face once. 4. Justin Long's eyebrow was actually cut open by the first wrench thrown at him. All the wrenches thrown were made of rubber, but the first was harder than all of the others. 5. Rawson Marshall Thurber wrote the roles of Peter LaFleur, White Goodman, and Justin with Vince Vaughn, Ben Stiller and Justin Long respectively in mind. The latter was chosen because of his role in Galaxy Quest. Did you know for Chicago, producer Martin Richards approached Catherine Zeta-Jones about appearing in this movie version of the play after being wowed by her renditions of carols at a family Christmas party in Bermuda. Richards approached her for the role of Roxy Hart, but Zeta-Jones, though not familiar with the original show, did know that the character of Velma Kelly sang the song All That Jazz. She only wanted to play that role because she wanted to sing that song. 2. Richard Gere took tap dancing lessons for 3 months. His tap dance scene was shot in half a day. 3. The role of Billy Flynn was offered to John Travolta several times before eventually going to Richard Gere. This is the 4th movie that Travolta has turned down, and Gere accepted, the others being American Gigolo, Days of Heaven, and An Officer and a Gentleman. Travolta said that he deeply regrets declining the part. 4. Director Rob Marshall wanted Catherine Zeta-Jones to wear her naturally long hair in this movie, but she insisted on the short bob. She explained to People magazine that she didn't want her hair to fall over her face and give people a reason to doubt that she did all of the dancing herself. Did you know for She's the Man? When holding auditions for the role of Duke, Amanda Bynes fought for the producers to choose Channing Tatum, who at the time had never had a leading film role and was largely unknown in Hollywood. Producers also were concerned that he was significantly older than most of his co-stars. Tatum credits Bynes with helping him launch his career as an actor. Amanda Bynes stated she had a tiny crush on Channing Tatum during filming. 2. As Duke comes into the shower room and walks by Malcolm, he snaps the towel at Malcolm's head to get him to shut up about the dorm pamphlet life while ranting at Sebastian. Channing Tatum really hit James Snyder in the eye with the towel, and James's reaction is real. 3. When they first started filming, Amanda Bynes couldn't play soccer at all. Nevertheless, Bynes does most of her own playing in the movie. 4. While Amanda Bynes was in boy form, the cast and crew were more comfortable hanging around her. They were more distant while she was herself. 5. Amanda Bynes said that performing this role led her to battle depression because she didn't like how she looked as a boy. Did you know for Revolutionary Road, while directing the love scene between Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet, director Sir Sam Mendes, Winslet's then-husband, opted to watch the monitor from another room. Mendes admitted that directing his own wife in a love scene was awkward, but added that directing these scenes are always awkward. Winslet found this very uncomfortable. Leo's my best friend, Sam's my husband. This is a bit weird. However, DiCaprio found it very easy, as we've done this 1,000 times before, while filming Titanic. 2. Whilst shooting the scene where Frank and April Wheeler first meet and dance together, the director was blasting a ballad to set the scene. After take 13, someone changed the music to Celine Dion's song, My Heart Will Go On, the anthem from Titanic. Initially, everyone paused, before Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet wordlessly spread out their arms and recreated the iconic pose of their Titanic characters. This resulted in applause and laughter from the 300 extras, energizing the mood. 3. Matt Damon was considered for Frank Wheeler, but could not do this on account of scheduling conflicts. Did you know for The Irishman, the house that appears at the beginning of the film is the same house that appears in Goodfellas? 2. Before accepting the role of Russell Bufalino, Joe Pesci refused multiple times to come out of retirement in order to appear in this film. Some sources say the actual number of refusals was 50. 3. This is the first collaboration between Martin Scorsese and Al Pacino. Scorsese always wanted to work with Pacino and offered him the role of Frank Costello in The Departed, but Pacino turned it down. 4. Stephen Graham was extremely nervous during the scene in which he and Al Pacino debate how late his character was for a meeting. Stephen thought, "I'm in a scene with Robert De Niro," and he says nothing. This led him to improvise in another take the line, "What do you think, Frank?" to Robert De Niro's character. Much to Stephen's delight, De Niro improvised the line, 12 and a half, 5. At 3 hours and 30 minutes, this is the longest film Martin Scorsese has directed, and the longest mainstream film released in over 20 years. At one point, it was conceived as being a two-part film. Did you know for a rival, Ted Chiang, who wrote the story the film is based upon, approved the film, saying, "I think it's that rarest of the rare in that it's both a good movie and a good adaptation. And when you consider the track record of adaptations of written science fiction, that's almost literally a miracle." 2. Director Denis Villeneuve and screenwriter Eric Heisserer created a fully functioning visual alien language. Heisserer, Villeneuve, and their teams managed to create a logogram Bible, which included over 100 different completely operative logograms, 71 of which are actually used in the movie. 3. While the shape of the ship was decided early on, Denis Villeneuve had great difficulty imagining an interior that would allow humans to easily navigate through such a steep and vertical design. The later decision to turn gravity sideways offered an obvious and convenient solution. 4. The film's composer, Johan Johansson, stated he started recording the score before the movie had even started filming, and he and the director like to work on the music as the director's films are being made. Did you know for Fantastic Mr. Fox, writer, producer, and director, Wes Anderson chose to have the actors and actresses record their dialogue outside of a studio and on location to increase the naturalness? We went out in a forest, went in an attic, went in a stable, we went underground for some things. There was a great spontaneity in the recordings because of that. 2. Roald Dahl's Fantastic Mr. Fox was the first book writer, producer, and director Wes Anderson owned. His mother, Texas Ann Burroughs, bought it for him at the St. Francis Book Fair in Austin, Texas, when he was about 7 years old. Anderson has kept this same copy on his bookshelf ever since. 3. The look of this movie was inspired by Great Missenden, a village in Buckinghamshire, England, where Roald Dahl lived and worked. The tree where the Fox family lives is based on a prominent beech tree on Dahl's property, and Mr. Fox's study recreates in minute detail the interior of the famous garden hut in which Dahl did most of his writing. 4. This movie is composed of almost 56,000 shots. Did you know for The Hateful Eight? After the script leaked online, writer and director Quentin Tarantino did not want to make this movie. However, after they did a brief reading of the script in Los Angeles, the cast was stunned and got excited for the film, and with Samuel L. Jackson persuading him to do this movie, Tarantino accepted. 2. According to writer and director Quentin Tarantino, his two primary cinematic influences on the film were The Thing and Reservoir Dogs. Even though Tarantino wrote and directed the latter film, it remained an influence on his later work. 3. Writer and director Quentin Tarantino said that some of Ennio Morricone's compositions for the film are the unused scores for The Thing. Kurt Russell was the star in that movie. 4. Only the 11th film to be shot in the Ultra Panavision 70mm process, which is a 65mm film with 1.25x squeeze anamorphic lenses, for an aspect ratio of 2.76 to 1. A film has not used this extremely rare process since Khartoum, nearly 50 years before. This also makes it Quentin Tarantino's second film, after Jackie Brown, to not be filmed in the 2.391 format.